It's been fun and it's been memorable. Vigan, you have been beautiful.
Consider us and everyone in the PVL your new Ka-Vegans.
Vigan City, Ilocosur. This is the PVL.
The heart of volleyball! This is the PVL, Tipuso, Volleyball.
It has been an absolute amazing experience here in Vigan City, Ilocosur. From the food, from the culture, and more importantly, the people that has welcomed us with open arms. Now we are down to our one last day here in Shavit Coliseum. Beginning with this game, the Cignal HD Spikers versus the Capital One Solar Spikers. And right after this, at 6:30 p.m., it is the Creamline Cool Smashers versus the Akari Chargers. Stay tuned for that right here on Pilipinas Live, One Sports Plus. You can watch that right here on Cignal TV. The Akari Chargers yesterday lost the 3 sets to the Cignal HD Spikers led by Jel Cayuna. A lot of debuts in yesterday's game that has really showed up. And of course, Iris Tolenada and Capital One looking to bounce back in that 3-set loss. Thank you for joining us once again. My name is Jaime Escalon with my partner, Neil Flores. And of course, a person who has been enjoying her time here in Vigan City in Jana Ina. Jana, how has been your experience here in Ilocosur?
Jaime, I can't even begin to say where my favorite part was, but Calle Crisologo, I think I'm done walking around, and I'm sure the teams also said the same thing. I can't wait to talk about their vegan experiences later.
We'll get to that later on, but first things first, Neil. Yesterday, we described what happened or what can we expect here in the PVL On Tour. Maybe you could do a recap on what we can expect in this preseason tournament.
We still have 12 competing teams for this conference of the PVL. We will be going around Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao for our PVL On Tour. And the 12 teams, as I mentioned, were split into 2 pools. So we have Pool A, Chocomucho, Farm Fresh, Galleries, Next Led, Petrogas, and PLDT. And in Pool B, we have Akari, Cignal, Creamline, Capital One, Cherry Tigo, and Zeus Coffee. The top 2 teams in the single round robin format will move on to the next round. The bottom 4 teams will move to the knockout stage. The number 3 seed in one pool will square up against the number 6 team, and the number 4 team will go up against the number 5 team. The winners will move on to the finals, and from then on, each round will be a 1-game elimination up to the championship match and the battle for bronze. It's also important to note that the semi-finalists of the PVL On Tour will earn a spot in the Invitational Conference the following week.
So there you have it. There will be a championship game here in this preseason tournament. Yesterday was just the first day, and like Neil said, they will go to Luzon, we will go to Visayas, and we will go to Mindanao. But one team that really showed up in their debut is the Cignal HD Spikers. Yesterday, they won in 3-0, and in the off-season, there was a prayer. And yesterday, that prayer has arrived in the opposite Spiker, Neil, in Erica Santos.
She was the best player of the game in yesterday's game as she scored 14 points in her debut as a Cignal HD Spiker. She actually got the most number of sets, pero ang taas naging efficiency ni Erica Santos. She was at 43-44%. So I would say that it was an impressive start for Erica Santos, and she was able to build instant connection with her setter in Jel Cayuna. So we can expect more numbers from Erica this game.
But it wasn't only Erica who was debuting in yesterday's game. Another player made her debut after a 2-year hiatus. That is quite long. Buti nga lang may Jel Cayuna. But that player also showed up, and we can just say, Neil, that the instincts never left with a player like Tintiamzon.
I do agree. She was the second top scorer for the HD Spikers. Also in double digits, 11 points. First few points in the first set, she was a bit shaky, but when she started to score, nakita na natin yung confidence ng isang Tintiamzon. The volleyball IQ was still there. The court sense was there. So I just know that the championship experience that she has will really help the Cignal HD Spikers in their quest for a gold medal.
You know what? I'm also sure that everyone loved watching that performance from Tin Chamzon yesterday, Neil. I got to talk to her earlier. She said that she partly credits her performance from her setter, Jel Cayuna, whom Tin describes as a very patient setter, working that bond together. Yesterday was also Jel's first game as a Cignal HD Spiker team captain. And Jel tells me that wasn't such a difficult task kasi matibay naman talaga yung foundation ng team. And they found the perfect additions in their new players. But while we're here in Vigan, syempre, Jel tells me that the team got to go around, do some touristy things, particularly their morning walks. Dahil di raw sila nakapag-ball training ng maayos. So morning walks was kind of their way to insert some training as well. So morning walks around Calle Crisologo, highly recommended by the Cignal HD Spikers. And maybe another Cignal HD Spiker, Jackie Acuna, could also recommend us some spots here in Vigan as she takes us around the city in Detour.
Thank you. Good morning, Naimbag Abigat. Tara, ikot tayo. Tumatak sa akin is yung culture nila dito and tradition. Coming from urban city, parang sobrang bilis. But coming here, sobrang payapa, sobrang tahimik. Talagang yung mga tao, sobrang welcoming din sa amin dito, sa Ilocos Sur. Diba? Kaya wala akong masabi sa fans, sa mga tao dito sa Vigan. Pagpunta pa lang namin, grabe yung mga smile na binungad nila sa amin. Of course, palagi nilang sinasabi na buti daw nakapaglaro na dito yung PVL dahil matagal na nilang hinihintay yung PVL dito sa Ilocos Sur. And it's a pleasure for us also na kami yung first na naglaro sa Chavit Coliseum. And thank you po sa lahat na sumuporta sa first game namin. And ngayong second game namin, salamat din po sa susuporta. To all the PVL fans dito po sa Vigan, Ilocos Sur, maraming salamat po sa mainit na pagtanggap at sa pagsuporta sa PVL teams. At isang karangalan din po na makapaglaro dito sa very historic and cultural place dito sa Vigan City. I attend kayo.
Maraming salamat, Jackie Acuna, for showing the PVL fans on why they should go to Vigan, Ilocos Sur. And also, shout out to our segment producers. We're really giving it to them, right, Neil? Why they should go to Vigan?
It's giving a travel show.
Yeah. All right, but let's shift the conversation now to the Capital One Solar Spikers, because Capital One, they do have a new head coach, and it will be a process to find their footing here with their new head coach, who is not here today because he has ALAS duties. But one player really made a mark while Coach Jorge De Brito was watching, and that is revving up in Rovi Estrella yesterday, Neil.
It's a new system, it's a new era for Capital One, and Rovi Estrella was one of the more tenured players that really showed up against Creamline. She did score 7 points. That was already the highest production of a single player against the Cool Smashers. And dahil bago nga yung era for Capital One, there is also a big chance na maraming bagong stars ang mag-emerge. So they need more numbers from her definitely if they want to bounce back. Lalo na't wala pa si Bella Belen and wala pa si Leila Cruz because of ALAS duties.
Yeah, and of course here in the preseason tournament, it's a good chance to try to earn your minutes once the conferences start again. But you did mention something that really I would remember, and that's there was a 1-2 punch in yesterday's game. It wasn't just Estrella. Shola Alvarez, a former collegiate MVP, also showed up to the plate.
She only started in the third set, but she was able to tally 5 points, and I would say na malaking number na yan given na malakas yung depensa ng Creamline. The former NCAA MVP will have more attempts definitely today against a defensive team in the Cignal HD Spikers, so she really has to step up, and I'm also expecting her to be in the starting unit.
Well, truly, Neil. I mean, Shola Alvarez, already a veteran for this Solar Spiker squad, no? Consistently delivering, even in the previous conference. Well, we can't wait to talk more about her siguro in her performance today. I also got to speak with another veteran, and that's Jorel Singh, who also shared with me more of the team's Vigan happenings. Jorel says it was mostly training talaga. my God, especially in the morning, Capital One really was squeezing in some workouts throughout their free time. But Jarrell's highlight of the trip, going around Calle Crisologo with the team. At lahat daw sila nakapag-try na ng Ilocos Empanada. Now, isn't that what we love about PVL on tour? Just some adventures naman from all of our teams here in the PVL. Plus, we also got to talk about Capital One's very own team captain, Roma Dormal, about her experience so far here on PVL on tour.
Hi PVL, we're back! I super love yung fact na we're here in Vigan and I'm with my Capital One team. I'm super grateful na meron ganitong experience and thank you to PVL also kasi may ganitong opportunity. Masarap sa feeling kasi we're playing in a different place here in Vigan and nakaka-inspire kami ng a lot of people dito. What I appreciate the most here in Vigan sa stay namin is na-amaze ako sa tao here and yung mga hospitality nila here sa Ilocos and na-appreciate ko yung love nila sa volleyball. So, super nakaka-inspire to play and to share our talent sa kanila kasi big community talaga sila here na nagsusupport sa volleyball. To all the Capital One Solar Spikers fans, thank you for your unending support. I hope na i-continue po kami i-support and God bless you all and hope to see you soon all.
Last day here in Vigan. We are wrapping up all of our games this afternoon, and I'm sure that our fans loved watching us, especially on the Pilipinas Live app, because we are asking our Pilipinas Live poll question, and our question is, which star will be our Vigan star of their team? Will it be Tin Chamzon, Erica Santos, Iris Tolenada, or Roma Dorama? Lots of options to pick, gentlemen. We're looking at our last matches for Vigan City.
Yes, last match indeed. But you know what, Neil and Jana, I really do pray and do hope I could hear you guys today because the 5,000 fans yesterday were roaring. And so, they will roar again today. We set the stage for the Capital One Solar Spikers versus the Cignal HD Spikers right here on PVL on tour.
Once again, our officials for this match, our first referee is Bobby Celso, national referee. And the second referee is Joven Rosales, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First for the Cignal HD Spikers. Center from the Far Eastern University, number 22, team captain Jel Cayuna. Middle blocker from the National University, number 2, Rose Doria Aquino. Outside spiker from De La Salle University, number 4, Tin Tiamzon. Outside spiker from Adamson University, number 6, Ishi Lalungisip. Opposite hitter from La Salle, number 8, Erica Santos. Middle blocker from NU, number 11, Jackie Acuna. And the starting libero from FEU, number 24, Buding Duremdes. Head coach for Cignal is Shaq De Los Santos. And now the starters for Capital One Solar Spikers. Outside spiker from the National University, number 8, team captain Jarrell Singh. Outside spiker from Adamson University, number 6, Trisha Genesis. Opposite hitter from De La Salle University, number 9, Rovi Estrella. Center from San Francisco State University, number 10, Iris Tolenada. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 12, Casey Caldones. Middle blocker also from UST, number 17, Pia Abu. Starting libero from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 19, Roma May Doromal. And the interim head coach for Capital One is Jerome Guhit. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Cignal versus Capital One. This is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
For the Cignal HD Spikers, of course, led by their team captain, Jel Cayuna, and yesterday's player of the game, Erica Santos. I think Duremdes will also be their starting
Pero, as for the Capital One Solar Spikers, who lost in 3 sets yesterday versus the Creamline Cool Smashers, the team captain, Jarrell Singh, led by their setter, Iris Tolenada, and their debuting players, Pia Abu and Casey Galdones at the middle blocker position.
There will be no changes to the starting lineup of Coach Shaq De Los Santos. And for the Capital One Solar Spikers, they will be leaning on Rovi Estrella and Trisha Genesis.
As we welcome you to day number 2 here in Vigan City, Ilocos Sur, where Tin Tiamzon has made her debut. And like Neil said, the IQ has never left.
First kill block for Tin Tiamzon. I think at this point, teams are just trying to figure out kung anong combination ba ng players ang gagana. And that's something na kailangan ma-discover din ng Capital One. In yesterday's game, Coach Jorge tried to put in different players at certain points in time. So later on, we are expecting Jerry Malabanan, Chola Alvarez to come in and provide more points for Capital One. But first things first, they do have to minimize those errors. They have to pass well, so that they could challenge the Cignal HD Spikers. And as for Cignal, I think offense will be their key to victory. We saw different points of attack yesterday against the Akari Chargers. And again, it's Jel Cayuna dictating that pace.
Free ball, Capital One. Tolenada, back to Caldones. Lalong isip will hit that one straight to the net.
Most of the points have been unforced errors in the first few rallies here in the opening set.
Coach Jerome Guhit will be replacing Coach Jorge for today's game, as Coach Jorge has his national team duties. That is inside for Trisha Genesis.
Well, Jaime and Neil, I'd like to add more onto our discussion about Tin Chamzon's return to the court yesterday. A reintroduction, if you will, because she got to tell me all about it a while ago. Tin told me that easing into that intensity was the hardest part at first, but managing to maintain that level throughout the game was very satisfying. Though she adds that she wasn't surprised. She knows she puts in the work, training 3 hours a day and building her connection with her setter and former national team teammate Jel Cayuna. All in all, a very ideal comeback for her into the league. How about you, gentlemen? What else are you looking forward to in her reintroduction?
What are we looking forward to, Neil? Well, imagine if they have a full squad with Vanny and Dawn coming back. The Cignal team still hoping for their first championship here in the PVL.
This is just a prelude to the main season. Tataas pa yung level of competition once we head into the invitationals.
Ball is kept in play. Chance ball for Cignal. Cayuna was amazing in these chance balls, and that is exactly why.
That is the system of Cignal HD. Every chance na nakukuha nila, Jel Cayuna would really go to their middles.
They made a living with these chance balls versus Akari in yesterday's game, tied at 4. Singh, straight to Santos. Cayuna the set. And that one going to the other side for a challenge here, block touch challenge. Net fall challenge rather by Pia Abu.
Point will go to Pia Abu and Capital One. That's her first point.
That's her first point as a solar spiker. Ishi. Genesis was there with the reflexes. Estrella tried to go for the drop ball, will not work. Tied at 5.
She mistimed her approach. The set was high from Jorel Singh, pero nauna siya. That's why she couldn't put that ball over. So far, it's a close game. Both teams trying to establish their offense against one another.
The slide for Abu. The dive by Lalong Isip. And Jackie Acuna will get the point.
Second point for the middle blocker of the HD Spikers.
One-handed set by Jel Cayuna.
Yesterday, we also mentioned the importance of the center middle connection for Capital One. We have to note na bago lang din si Pia Abu. She is a rookie, so they would need to play more together para makuha yung tamang timpla for those quick attacks.
Tiamzon did not get the adjustment she needed, so we're deadlock again at 6. Sharp serve. Acuna. Low once again for Cignal. That's the third time now. So 3 of Capital One's 7 points coming from those low hits. Another sharp serve by Jarell. Bump to Erica from the back. Iris will choose Pia Abu, looking to establish that connection.
That's a better set for Pia Abu. Just enough height and speed to get that point.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Brighter days ahead. That is something the Capital One Solar Spikers are looking for, Neil.
They were able to pick up 3 rookies in the recently concluded PVL draft night. Top pick, Bella Belen. Yan ang pinaka-excited ang mga tao makita. Second round pick in Pia Abu.
Along with a new head coach. So they're looking to make a leap in the upcoming conferences. But right now, holding on to a 1-point lead. Good first pass. 1-2 play. Cignal falling asleep.
Before Capital One has been controlling the pace of this first set. Iris Tolinada getting that drop ball to go.
This was the start you're looking for if you're Capital One. That one is overcooked by Pia Abu. It's also not every day, Neil, you get a back-to-back games here in the PVL. So that's a quick realignment for both of these teams.
Sa bagay. And 2 months lang din naman yung ating PVL on tour. So recovery is going to be a priority when you're playing back-to-back game days.
I think Erica Santos was well recovered from her POG yesterday. We are tied at 9.
The first of many points for Erica Santos. She saw the gap between the 2 blockers. Capital One, she went for power.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. Genesis was denied. It goes over. Cayuna wanted the quick. Doria Aquino asking for a check. But our first referee saying no, there wasn't a check, and so we have another challenge.
It looked like it hit the fingertips of Casey Galdones.
So Cignal's first challenge of the day. Oh, no challenge there, Neil. Point was awarded to Cignal.
Capital One will get the point back after that Trisha Genesis hit. I think umamin na din si Casey Galdones that there was a touch kaya hindi na nag-push through yung challenge from Cignal. So we're tied up at 10-all.
Good first pass by Tin. And Doria Aquino, the recipient of that play.
we're seeing the pattern in the system of setting of Jel Cayuna sa simula. Instead of throwing to the wings, she really establishes the presence of the middles. And later on, midpoint of the set, that's the time that she goes to those combination plays.
We saw that yesterday's game as well versus Akari. In the meantime, Genesis getting that one off her blocker's hands for her second point of the game.
Great recognition also from Trisha Genesis. I think Capital One knows na Cignal HD is a defensive team, so they really have to find ways on how they can work around that block.
A tough back set for Santos. Was looking to place. It goes outside.
Cignal has been giving Capital One a lot of free points in the first half of this opening frame.
Our unofficial count is around 4 to 5 errors now. And a service ace for Trisha Genesis.
2-point lead for the Solar Spikers. They look more relaxed now, more confident. Mahirap din naman talaga na first game pa lang would be a champion team in the Cool Smashers.
And 5,000 screaming fans. With a 2-point lead. Lalong Isip looking to get going. Tolenada one-handed set could not be reached by Galdones.
They did try to save that ball. So it was just a bit high for Casey Galdones.
They target Singh. Back set to the opposite side. Getting the line.
Nobody picked that up. There was a miscue between Trisha Genesis and Roma Doromal. That's why you really have to define your zone kung hanggang saan yung aabutin mo para maiwasan yung mga tinginan na ganon.
Caldones with some power. Bump to Santos. Binalik. Cayuna. That time, it will not bite for Jackie Acuna.
Another unforced error from the HD Spikers. This is an opportunity for Capital One to build on this 1-point lead.
It has been a tight one here in set number 1. Another bump set for Lalong Isip. Genesis there to cover. The toss to Singh. No entry.
The bank is close today. Monster block from Cignal HD. That block will be credited to Erica Santos. Jorel Singh tried to target zone 1.
Estrella gets the lead back for Capital One.
Capital One is intentionally going for those hitouts. They're targeting the hands of the blockers na malapit sa antenna, and it has been working.
Estrella, who had 7 points yesterday with a sharp serve. Santos, free ball given. The slide, Abu gets it to go.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
The Cignal HD Spikers looking to go higher definition with their recruits here, Neil.
Cignal really went for versatility in that rookie draft class. First round pick was Erin Pangilinan. We know that she was a middle blocker for National University, but she also had experience as an opposite hitter. And yun yung kailangan ng Cignal. They need somebody to support Erica Santos in case kailanganin nila. They were also able to pick up Jessa Ordiales. She was with LaSalle since 2022, but she only cracked the lineup in the UAAP season na pinaka-recent. But they also picked up Pearl Denura from National University, who was undrafted in that night.
All coming from back row Genesis. Trisha Genesis coming in hot here in set number 1.
Aside from the offense of Trisha Genesis, yung biggest contribution niya talaga as a sweeper would be her floor defense. In every game that I watched her, she's really one of those defenders na nagsa-stabilize ng offense nila, and napakalaking tulong nun for Iris Tolenada in yesterday's game. Ang daming bola ang hinabol ni Iris, but with Trisha Genesis inside the court, mababawasan siguro yung mga misreceives ng Capital One.
And now there's a substitution here, a former Solar Spiker in Heather Ginoo, now inside for the first time for Cignal. Back set. Slide, Acuna. That one goes in.
And that was the first short slide in this set for Jackie Acuna. Kanina more on be quick yung nirarun ni Jel Cayuna, but now she's really pushing for the split block on Capital One.
They cut this lead down to 1. High set for Singh. And that's exactly what you were saying, Neil. It's been the same game plan.
Another hit out from Capital One, so there should be adjustments made by the blockers of HD Spikers. Sometimes ang ginagawa ng mga blockers, iniiwanan nila yung clean angle ng down the line and they let the defender do her job in the back row. It's either that or you close all possibilities for a hit out.
Another slide for Acuna, but this time there was a check ball. Capital One, each of them looking at our first referee.
It's going to be a last touch challenge. So it's not going to be a block touch challenge. Ang i-check natin ay kung tumama yung bola dun sa defender sa likod bago lumabas yung bola.
Walang check.
Walang check. Eh yun nga eh. Yun yung na check ball kayo. Walang challenge.
Last touch.
Last touch nga. Ang last touch natin is dito lang sa ibabaw. Wala doon sa floor.
Okay.
Alright, so that's a good clarification from our first referee. Yung last touch, sa harapan lang kasi nandun lang yung cameras natin. We won't be able to check for the angles in the back row for that last touch. So that challenge will be denied by the first referee and the point will go to the HD Spikers.
So they cut the lead down to 1 here. 17 serving 18. A setup for Genesis. And we are tied at 18. Multiple deadlocks here in our first set.
Trisha Genesis wanted to go for another hit out, but the trajectory was too high. This is where perfect passing will come in for Capital One. You have to be able to utilize Pia Abu if you want to give a bigger chance for Genesis to convert on their first attack.
They tried the back row. Now to the other side, Trisha Genesis has been too hot to handle.
Bilis ng adjustment ni Trisha Genesis. She committed an error a while ago, but this time, she found the right target in the back row. Going through the seam of the block of the HD Spikers.
Capital One will now cling on to this 1-point lead. It's been a slim margin back and forth. Kneeling set for Ginoo. Abu. Genesis, a free ball. Who will Jel go to? Ginoo. Cross court. It is good for her first point as a HD Spiker.
Daming naging player movements into preseason. The teams have been busy in rebuilding and solidifying their lineups. Heather Ginoo was also a good pickup for Cignal HD. She's a deadly server. She's also good in floor defense. And maaasahan mo din siya when it comes to offense.
Race to 6 now. Cayuna, full front line to work with. Colenada will chase to get that set for Genesis. And a two-man wall was present.
Iris Colenada had no other option that last rally. Coach Jerome will call for time.
Start tayo mo lang ayos. Basta ka na eh. Gamitin yung kamay. Tutong. Okay. Basa ulit. Isang mataas na basa. Huwag natin bilisan yung basa. Pagkala natin. Para ano.
Okay lang, sagayin natin. Basa muna. Hey, Capital! Basa muna.
That timeout was dedicated to passing for Capital One. In a two-hitter rotation, importante na yung pasa umabot dun sa setter's box kasi pag nabitin yan sa attack line, mawawala sa formation yung middle blocker. Iris Colenada will have a hard time in dishing out a quick attack for Casey Galdones. So if they want to confuse the blockers of Cignal, they really have to pass well.
Service ace for Jel Cayuna though, Nia. That is a crucial one.
Jel Cayuna is one of the best servers, I would say, for the HD Spikers. So a break point is much needed for Capital One to get her out that line.
Makatuno has just checked in as Genesis passes through the block.
Good substitution from Coach Jerome. They need 3 attackers up front. Thus the double sub.
Bishop Genesis and her heavy hits keeping Capital One on deck here, down by 1.
That substitution will not be allowed by the first referee. So Capital One needs to wait for the next rally.
Genesis will counter. Dorendes will play setter. Ginoo will try again. And scoring against her former team.
Second point for Heather Ginoo.
This is the depth that Cignal has been longing for, with players like Ginoo stepping in.
There's always a different motivation when you're going up against your former team.
Good dig by Ginoo. Genesis has been the hot hand. Drop ball. Pancake save by Dorendes. Another try. Galdones was denied. It's still alive. Doriaquino puts it away.
Just like that, Cignal is 2 points away from bagging the first frame. They needed some time to get their offense going, but you have to thank Buding Dorendes for saving that ball.
Defense leading to offense for Cignal. A time.
Gawin mo di ko yung middle. Okay? Or C5 or 5 here. Ito rin. Okay? Basahan natin. Pasok ka lang. Buha ka lang ng number. Okay?
Discartehan natin. Pag dalawang blank, discarte.
Pag-alan ulit natin yung basa. Okay? Go.
score after that exciting rally by Capital One and Cignal. Great defense from Vigan Durendes, who were enjoying seeing a lot more playing time, Neil. Ginoo serve was too strong.
Cignal is not yet out of the woods. Capital One has 3 attackers up front. So it's really up to Roma de Romal and Iris Tolinada kung paano nila papatakbuhin yung offense nila against Cignal HD.
Good receive by Ginoo. Erica Santos. We arrive at set point.
There's a different kind of intensity from Cignal. Lalo na pag nasa 20 points mark na sila. It's another impact play for the highlight reel for Erica Santos. Looks like she's enjoying her time with Cignal HD.
The score was 19 all, and then Cignal just pressed on a different gear. Estrella. Santos with the finisher.
Cignal takes the first set, 25.
Just like yesterday in the clutch. This is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. The Cignal HD Spikers will take the first set with a score of 25-21. HD Spikers with a great finishing kick, Neil. It was tied at 19, but the insertion of Heather Ginoo and the finishing touches of Erica Santos giving them that first set win.
They were playing catch-up in the first half of set number 1 dahil ang dami nga nila binigay na puntos papunta sa Capital One. Capital One had their defense going thanks to Trisha Genesis, and she also scored a lot in that first frame. But in the end, it was really the stability in the connection of Jel Cayuna and her attackers that did the job for Cignal HD. But I think that Capital One is definitely playing better today compared to yesterday's game. We also saw moments from Jorel Singh. They kept on going to those hit-outs. And in the second set, Cignal can expect more of that in Capital One. Kaya kailangan pumasok na yung adjustments in positioning. Di naman nalalayo yung atake ng Capital One. They were only 2 points behind Cignal HD. But Cignal, being a defensive team, definitely controlled the net defense. 3 blocks. Capital One wasn't able to get their own fair share of defensive stops against the attackers of Cignal HD. But sometimes actually, hindi mo naman kailangan tapatan yung output nila in terms of blocking. Rebounds are super important in the sport of volleyball. They can utilize those soft touches so that they can just score off their transition. Errors was also a highlight in set number 1. Both teams had 7 apiece. I'm sure yung mga statistician ng bawat team binabantayan din yan because I think teams also monitor their efficiency in every game.
Capital One do well is also attack those blocks. We talked about that a lot. But it was tied up to 19. Yun nga lang, there's a different gear after that 20th point that Cignal puts on. And so let's see Here in set number 2, how will Capital One bounce back? Back row hit, Santos.
Capital One will get that first point off the error of Erica Santos. If they were watching yesterday's game, sigurado ko na na-observe nila na hindi pwedeng bigyan ng free block si Erica Santos kahit na nanggagaling siya sa likuran.
Damson. Solid dig by Doromal. The runner by Genesis. Doria Aquino could not connect with Cayuna, but another try at things. This time, still no good. Damson will try. Doromal covering. Genesis. Rally we have here from the pipe. Lalong Isip will score.
That's inside for Ishi Lalong Isip. Everybody's really a threat from Cignal HD. They have that pipe from the middle. They also have an option in Erica Santos from the right side.
Service ace, that's the second one now for Jel Cayuna.
Dito din nakaabante ang Cignal HD. Every time that Jel Cayuna is in that service line, nahihirapan yung mga opponents to set up their offense.
Bump set, Estrella. Right pin for Santos. Makes it look so easy.
We also have to applaud Jel Cayuna for that reverse bump set. Saktong-sakto papunta kay Erica Santos. The ball was actually near the outside hitter of Cignal, so mas simple sana yung attack from that point, but she always wants to go to the unexpected place. That's why she went to the right side.
That one wide left for Cayuna. Genesis on deck. She was the main character for Capital One in that first set. Strong serve. Santos. Easy put away.
Another new play for Cignal HD.
Iris jump set. Sing. And it is still alive. The back set now. And Dorendes could not cover that line.
Ball was on its way out. But sometimes when you're not sure kung inside or outside, but instinct will really kick in.
Galdones, who had a couple of service aces yesterday. One-handed set.
It's going to be the second block, I believe, for Pia Abu.
The toss to Doria Aquino. Galdones with some digging. Sing though could not. And so a 1-point lead for Cignal. Why don't we check in with Jana Ejido? Jana?
Well, lineup changes and new faces. Those are what we saw in our first few matches of the PVL on tour, our brand new conference yesterday. And besides Capital One's rookies, veteran Jarrell Singh, who has been with the start, tells me that she was finally happy to play alongside her new teammates like Casey Galdones and Rachel Ostero yesterday. She added that even in their first training together, getting along wasn't a problem at all. In her words, walang naiilang, ang gaan nila makasama. Though she admits that they still have lots to work on, mentioning their rocky defense pattern that proved a challenge in the new system with Coach Jorge yesterday. But today, they kept it close in set 1 against Cignal. Let's see if they could mount something here in set 2. It's 5-all. Hi, Manuel.
Thank you so much, Jana. Well, that's good to hear, Neil, that they vibe right away. That's a good first step. Ngayon kailangan nila dalhin sa court.
Just have to trust that system of Coach Jorge.
Off speed! Speaking of Chorel Singh, right on cue.
Donut hole, the defense of Cignal HD Spikers.
Excellent play there for Chorel Singh, giving her team a 1-point lead. The slide has been automatic for Jackie Acuna.
How do you stop that short slide?
Touring Vigan in the morning, sliding in Vigan in the afternoon. As we are tied at 6. That one is for Singh. Another one for Acuna was blocked. Ayuna was hitter for that one, but it goes out. Similar start, Neil, as to that first set.
Capital One is in the lead again.
Ishi was targeting the hands and she knew it.
Gonna see more action from Ishi lalong isip. I think she just signed a 3-year extension contract with the HD Spikers.
Much deserved for Ishi lalong isip. One of the surprises in that last draft. Pia Abu slide will work.
She's been so active in this game, and she will give Capital One a 1-point lead as we head into our first technical time.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Looking for the Solar Spikers, Pia Abu.
Pia Abu, who was scoreless yesterday, but getting more points today, getting her touches. Meanwhile, Acuna again. We're tied again at 8.
The middle blockers of Cignal are becoming their first option of attack. That's a great pass from Roma de Romal.
Tolenada loves to do those.
Every time you deliver that perfect pass papunta kay Iris Tolenada, you will have all of your attackers at your full disposal. Iris Tolenada can even go for those strong dunk balls to get a quick point for Capital One.
And now Tolenada has a full front line, but Zon was dogged by Doromal. Great display of floor coverage. Torrendes as well. Tiamzon chasing. And the point will go to the Solar Spikers.
That was too close to the net. Heather Ginoo will check in once again to replace Tintiam Zon.
Ginoo from the bench. Cross court, not there. Opposite hit. Estrella was deflected. Santos from the back. Too much from Erica.
Biggest lead for Capital One. This is the time to be more aggressive on offense. As compared to the first set, mas maganda na yung reception efficiency ng Capital One. Timeout signal.
Pagalanganin, Erika. Bilisan mo lang sa gitna. Pasa muna ulit yan. Pasa muna ulit. Nakaka-defense naman tayo sa yung block. Ang ano lang natin yung atake para tayo mag-finish. Okay, go, 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 go.
Nakalimutan lang yung joy. Let's go, let's go. Para may panado mamaya. Let's go. Signal.
Very specific instructions there by Coach Shaq de los Santos. Right now, his team is trailing by 3. Some great defense, Neil, we're seeing from the Solar Spikers. The bump for Ginoo. Tolenada choosing Estrella. Dorandes, what a day, Ginoo. It's down.
I'm loving the matchup of Buding Duremdes and Roma Doramal, both trying their best to keep the ball alive for their respective teams. Heather Ginoo has been a revelation for Coach Shaq de los Santos, getting good numbers through the substitution.
Denura is inside for the first time, Neil. Another rookie here for Cignal.
Another perfect pass from Roma Doromal.
Denura bumps it. Santos, 2 blockers. Estrella straight to Denura. Cayuna will choose Santos. Almost, but not quite. So a 2-0 run here for Cignal. Genesis, Denura, I am right here. Ginoo sending it outside.
No check ball from Capital One. Great digging from Pearl Denura.
Strong serve. Cayuna, the adjustment. Set up for Estrella, blocked by Ginoo. Nice to see you again, former teammate.
Cignal is making their move. Capital One needs to get a side out.
Toss up for Jarrell Singh. That's a specialty for Jarrell.
Specialty of the house. All familiar hit out from Jarrell Singh. Hitting the right hand of Erica Santos.
Question is, Neil, can Capital One maintain this 2-point lead? Because it's a similar storyline to that first set. Estrella again. Checked by Lalong Isip. Bump to Singh. Santos was there. Single man block.
No coverage behind the blocker. sometimes you have to accept the givens, and I think one of the givens talaga ay matibay yung blocking ng Cignal. May it be a single, 2-woman, 3-woman block. So yung coverage ng Capital One dapat ina-anticipate talaga na every time may chance na bumalik yung bola.
Doria Aquino ties it up at 13 after that service ace.
3-point lead is gone for Capital One. Dia Abu will be a good choice for Iris Tolenada.
Singh. You want it? You got it.
It's the same point of attack for Jorel Singh.
She knew the blockers were coming here. 2-man block. It's been a crawl, Neil, this game. Lalong isip on the elevation. Is she wanting a check?
That looked wide, but Cignal can challenge. Will they? Yep, they will be challenging that call. It's a block touch challenge from Coach Shaq de Los Santos.
Get our first challenge of set number 2. It's our second day. First game later on is the Akari Chargers versus the Creamline Cool Smashers. And it's off to Batangas next week. Challenge unsuccessful for Coach Shaq de Los Santos and Cignal. 2-point lead again for Capital One. Ishi rolls. Tolenada sets. Abu finding her chemistry here with Tolenada on that slide. It's a technical timeout here. 3-point lead for Capital One.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
We are on tour. We are in Vigan City and I'm here with Jenya Torres of the Capital One Solar Spikers. Jenya, balita ko nakapag-ikot na kayo, doing some training here and there. Kumusta yung experience mo dito sa Vigan so far?
Sobrang saya, sobrang ganda ng Vigan. Sa training, sobrang ganda kasi wow, grabe yung court dito, as in parang napaghandaan talaga. Malayo lang yung biyahe ng una na pag-trainingan namin, pero okay lang. Ito yung second na pag-trainingan namin, and ang ganda, hindi namin in-expect na ganito kahanda yung place. Sa mga lugar na napunta namin sa labas, yung grabe historical places dito, and yung food, yung empanada. Yan, empanada talaga.
And yung first game nyo kahapon, kumusta naman yung crowd dito sa Chavit Coliseum? You had lots of fans yesterday.
Sobrang daming fans kahapon na nag-attend, and then grabe yung crowd talaga ng tao dito. Hindi namin in-expect, well ako, hindi ko in-expect na gano'n sila ka-invested sa volleyball, and sobrang nakakatuwa lang kasi napagbigyan sila ng Vigan na para sa mga hindi nakakapunta ng Manila, ngayon, na-experience nila to.
And finally, a message naman, kasi it's our last day na in Vigan, a message to everyone watching.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa PVL, and lalong-lalo na sa Capital One. Huwag po kayo mag-isawang sumuporta sa amin. Yun lang po. See you soon, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Jenya. Now let's continue the action. Hi, Menil.
Jenya and Jana for that. It's been a warm welcome here in Vigan City. The fans yesterday, around 5,000 came in. Might expect more today in our last day. In the meantime, lalong isip.
Pearl Denura got another good dig to help Cignal.
Timeout is called here.
Sola, pasok kayo drill muna. Kita yung bola. Pia, takbo.
Ate, sunod-sunod yun na error. Be aware ha. Dapat next time. Let's go! Capital! One!
Back after that timeout, Capital One. They've been clinging to leads. How can they keep it? Because Erica Santos and Cignal just has a different motivation once they hit that 20th point.
Coach Jerome is looking for more offense. That's why he put in Shola Alvarez. Again, she scored 5 points. She only started in set number 3. Hindi nila kailangan umatake because they get a freebie there from the error of Erica Santos. Lead is back to 2 for Capital One. They're almost there.
You have a double sub, Neil. Erin Pangilinan, Giselle C. You saw this yesterday. Alvarez now serving. Not the best of receives. Ginawa ng paraan ni Pangilinan straight from the bench.
Power tip works for Erin Pangilinan. That was coming off a broken play. The defense of Capital One was not ready for it.
Solid bench production. Denura, Pangilinan, and Ginoo. But still down by 1. Tolenada, a setup for Genesis. Denura, I am right here. Lalong Isip from the back. Lalong Isip will score.
Second stringers of Cignal HD erasing that lead built by Capital One. So we have 3 second stringers on the court for Coach Shaq de los Santos. Pearl Denura, steady as a rock as their libero, Giselle C. and Erin Pangilinan, also providing a point so far.
Tied at 18. Pia Abu. Denura. Dadalhin kay Pangilinan. The push will not work.
Cignal HD still has 1 challenge opportunity. They will use it. It is going to be a block touch challenge. Block touch.
I love how the crowd was amused with that challenge. But there is no block touch. Unsuccessful. So 1 point lead for Capital One. C. Acuna turned away. Ginoo off speed. Galdones simply gets it across. Pangilinan ties it up at 19.
Great production really from the second stringers of Coach Shaq de los Santos. 2 points already for Erin Pangilinan given the limited minutes that they have on the floor. Ngayon, pinapakita niya na yung experience niya as an opposite.
Exactly the same score as that first set, 19 all. They try again, this time the slide. Good save by Erin. Ginoo, got it!
Another miscue from Capital One. Better Ginoo will score.
Bench has been too hot to handle here. And just like that, 1 point lead for the HD Spikers. We got a good first ball. Genesis. Acuna says hello. Lalo isip. And Acuna is loving that one. That one waking up the crowd as this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan.
Pwede ding dig off the set from Jackie Acuna.
High set for Genesis, who's been quiet here in the second. Chance ball. The slide, Ostero overcooks it.
There's really something about Cignal HD in the tail end of every set. They now have a 3-point lead against Capital One. Timeout, Coach Chiro.
Tataas lang yun. Pabalik natin ng free ball. Okay lang yun. Okay? Basta mo na ulit. Ha? Go.
Had to call timeout after that 3-0 run by the HD Spikers.
It was like a distress call from their acting head coach. Because they were in a good position a while ago, but now they're trailing by 3 points.
Genesis trying to wake her teammates up here.
Their team owner, Mandy Romero of Capital One, supporting her team.
Kneeling set, combination. Alvarez, papalo. Lalong isip, sweeping. Pangilinan gets another one. Oh no. It's a point for Capital One.
Cignal HD is also out of challenge opportunities. So it is going to be the judgment call of our first referee. Point will go to Capital One.
Ulit na kayong dalawa. Okay, pagka ano na to. Sige lang, pasa lang muna ulit. Ha? Sige. Focus muna. Pasa tapos, back row. Pag-ano tayo. Jel, front ka ha. Tingnan mo yung receive. Yung drop. Okay lang, okay lang. Ha? O, sige, go, go, go. Go. Sige. Ano lang tayo, ha? 1 point at a time, okay? End tayo, end.
So the score was 22-19. 2 straight points for Capital One. But so far, the doubles up has been kept here, Neil, with Giselle C. and Erin Pangilinan.
Chel Cayuna and Erica Santos are preparing to return to the floor because they do need that strong finishing kick.
Let's see if Iris Coronada and Capital One can dial down here, but Cayuna is back in the game. Ginoo neutralized at the net. Genesis will counter. Not quite there.
No challenge from Capital One. Unforced error will help Cignal build a 2-point lead.
And now Cayuna has options to work with.
Full front line for Cignal HD.
Good serve. Estrella, one blocker to beat. Denura bumps it up. Ginoo finding the line for set point.
Ganda ng bunot ni Coach Shaq kay Heather Ginoo and Pearl Denura. Sila yung nagsimula ng momentum ng Cignal HD here in that second set.
Estrella off the block for a much needed one.
You can see the fight in the game of Capital One. The wings have provided the offense for the Solar Spikers. So imagine if na-involve pa more yung middles nila.
22 serving 24. Santos. Buhay pa rin. Santos na naman. Off speed. Rivera with a save. Estrella denied. Who else, Neil? Who else? Heather Ginoo with a big block. This is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's Vitamin Powered Whitening Lotion. Magic bunot finishing set number 2, and now her team has a 2-set after 33 minutes. It was a bit of a deja vu moment there, Neil, because they were tied at 19, but then after that deadlock, Cignal just had a different zone, and it was a complete team effort from the bench to the starters.
That is correct. For Capital One, they were able to build a good lead against the HD Spikers. Pero ibang usapan yung ability to hold that lead and finish the set strong. That is something that they need to develop as we go along the PVL On Tour Conference. For Cignal HD, sanay na sila sa mga scenario na ganito. Even though they were trailing by 3-4 points, they knew how to come back. They served really well in the tail end of set number 2. And again, yung mga substitutions ni Coach Shaq, lahat gumagana. Pearl Denura was definitely a game changer in the second set as she collected a couple of excellent digs. And Heather Ginoo also provided a lot of crucial points for Coach Shaq. These are the numbers. Medyo lumayo na yung number when it comes to the attack point. 16 for Cignal, only 9 for Capital One. Cignal still had the edge in terms of blocking by garnering 3 kill blocks. But look at the unforced errors. 11 ang unforced errors from Capital One.
Cignal, let's see if they can finish in sweeping Capital One here, but we're seeing the improvement compared to yesterday, Neil, from Capital One. Still looking for that finishing kick though after that 19th deadlock. Erica Santos, Erin Pangilinan, Pearl Denura, as Neil mentioned, all contributing this new look Cignal HD Spikers.
Capital One still has a chance to extend this match. Tin Tiamzon is back in the starting unit for Coach Shaq de los Santos, looking to get her game going as they try to go for a 3-set win against their opponents.
As we welcome you back to Chavit Coliseum, set number 3 here. Jaime Ascalon, Neil Flores, Jana Ejido. It's our last day in Vigan. And boy, have we enjoyed this place. Right, Neil? And the empanadas.
Sarap nung king empanada mo kanina.
Cayuna. What a play with Doria Aquino.
Middles are always part of the offensive system of Cignal HD. Maybe a perfect A pass, B pass. Hindi sila nawawala.
And a service ace for Jel Cayuna. That's her 3rd service ace of the game.
That will prompt Coach Jerome to switch liberos. Vigo Rivera will be the defensive anchor of Capital One. Perfect pass.
Genesis has been silenced in set 2. She changes it up. Denura. Tiamzon. Not just yet. Sing, soft touch. And she delivers.
Drop ball from the back row works for Jarel Singh. The defense of Cignal HD was waiting for a strong hit.
Rivera, naiangat. Genesis will go cross. Bump to Tiamzon. Perfect location for Tin Tiamzon.
She works with placement shots from time to time. Going high and long.
Another service ace for Cignal. We'll go back to Jana later on. Estrella was met at the net. And now let's go to Jana Ejido. Jana?
Well, Jaime and Neil, here in the sidelines, the Cignal bench gets pretty loud with every point. But every time the rookie, Pearl Denura, gets a good dig and then they get a point, the Cignal bench gets even louder. Now, Pearl, if you recall, was a rookie who went undrafted during draft night. Neil, you even called her a game changer in set 2. And Coach Shaq De Los Santos told me that Pearl has always been a part of their plan. She got to spend time training with the team and the coaches liked what they saw in her. To Coach Shaq, it was a matter of timing and how Pearl also comes from a good system, a champion background from her time with NU. So here in this conference, as she's sharing libero duties with Buding Duremdes, we're bound to see more of her in this conference and in the future. Over to the timeout.
Para open up yung 5. Diba? Pero hindi tayo makakakuha na makaka-execute kung hindi tayo papasa. So pasahan natin. Huwag tayo magmadali. Pasa, set, atake. Isa-isay natin. Hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay. Pero madali.
It's the same concerns for Coach Jerome Guhit. Sabi nga niya, pasa pa din ang kailangan nating asikasuhin because pag walang pasa, dun sila naglalag behind in terms of attack points.
You just know it's going to be a point of emphasis here in the preseason tournament. Luckily, they have 2 months to work on that. But right now, it's a great start for Cignal here in set 3. Genesis. Santos rolls it. Estrella. Denura. How about that?
The team loved that dig from Pearl Denura. What a performance for this young libero. Keeping that ball alive. That allowed Rose Doria to push that ball the corner pocket. The defense of Capital One.
She got a hug from Tin Tiamzon. Tiamzon was hyped after that great dig. Meanwhile, that one is for sure for Capital One. Credit that to Estrella. Combination, Santos was looking to go sharp cross. 2 straight points for Capital One.
That's a mean jump serve from Trisha Genesis.
Caldones was ready at the net. Caldones now on the quick. Santos, one-handed save by Rivera. But the point will go to Cignal, which means we head on over to our first technical timeout.
Na-miss nyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss nyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
8-3 is the score. Strongest start so far for Cignal in all 3 sets. A chance ball for Cignal. Santos opting for the soft touch. Back row hit for Genesis. Doria Aquino will try setting.
Another point for Capital One. Right now, I think Capital One just needs to forget about everything else. They need to put all of their efforts in reception.
Because it leads to hits like that by Ishi lalong isip.
Pag hindi gumagana din yung reception, Cignal will just be on attack mode.
Tough back set for Estrella. As she continues to impress us here in her first 2 days in the PVL on tour.
She's still one of the bright spots for Capital One in this game. It's been a while since we last heard of Pia Abu's name. And yun yung nangyayari if hindi umaabot yung pasa kay Iris Tolenada. A while ago, they were scoring from the slide attacks of Pia Abu. Pero nawala yun, especially in the second set. So they need to try to bring that back para madagdagan yung offense ng Capital One.
She had around 3 points in that first set as lalong isip switching mid-air with that off-speed. Genesis, put up by Cayuna. Estrella from the back. Cayuna touched the net.
Masyadong nanggigil Jel Cayuna to go for that dump ball.
Jamzon with the approach. Sweeping is Buding. Slide. Great transition for Acuna with a little bit of sass.
The walk-off from Jackie Acuna showing everybody how it's done.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin' Pasalubong ng Bayan.
Look at the wrist action of Jackie Acuna, making it look so simple.
That confidence has been built through the years, talking about Jackie Acuna. Pia Abu, quiet. And Cayuna, great court awareness there.
Ito yung performance na gusto makita ni Coach Shaq de los Santos in the first 2 sets. They were the ones playing catch-up with Capital One, but now they're up by 6.
Abu. Doria Aquino was blocked by Pia. Pero buhay pa rin.
4 touches.
4 touches.
That's the correct call. It hit Rose Doria Aquino first, so that was the first touch. Tapos meron pang 3 from her teammates. Sometimes sobrang bilis ng mga pangyayari. Hindi napapansin ng mga teammates na meron ng first touch from the block.
Galing, Neil, right? When you were looking for Pia Abu, she got 2 to 3 more touches. Especially that slide. Sid Niegos is inside for the first time. 1-2 play.
Jel Cayuna has been enjoying all of those points from her offense. Kanina, she pushed that ball to the corner pocket. This time, it was another drop ball behind the blocker of the Solar Spikers.
Genesis covered by Ishi. This time the other side for Estrella, but it goes straight to the net. And Cignal has opened up a 7-point advantage.
Here comes a rookie middle blocker in Ordiales. He will replace Doria Aquino.
Cayuna with the combination play, but was read at the net. Counter for Sing. Santos will fly. Doromal will dig. Estrella back row. Was there a check?
There was a check ball on Tityamzon. It is going to be a point for Capital One. Cignal is already halfway through the set, so for Capital One, this is the time for you to score consecutive points. At least a 3-point run. I know it's easier said than done, but they don't have any other option.
From that left pin, Genesis. The digging has been impeccable for Cignal. Niegos! Here comes the boom!
Niegos score her first point off that quick attack.
That was a strong hit.
Their offense worked best pag may balance talaga when it comes to the distribution. We're seeing better passing from Capital One the past few rallies.
Santos tried to get sneaky. Genesis getting the cross. Overshot there by Tityamzon.
Lead is down to 4. That's a good sign for the Solar Spikers.
Good block. Read well by Ruby Estrella. And just like that, Neil, you were talking about it. 3 off that Estrella block, which is why there's a timeout called by the Cignal HD Spikers.
Reset na. Focus muna ulit. Tapang tayo. Kailangan lang natin ma-stop yung momentum, okay?
Shaq trying to stop that momentum now on the side of Capital One. Off back set, Erica. From the open, Genesis. No way. It's a block for Cignal.
That's still one of the advantages of Cignal in this game. First 2 sets, they were the ones who got more kill blocks compared to Capital One. Kanina, isang tinginan pa lang ni Erica Santos, Jel Cayuna. Alam na napupunta sa kanya because they needed one good stop.
Pelenada were great reflexes, but double contact though. And just like that, technical timeout here, 5-point lead for Cignal.
Bitin na kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
technical timeout. Capital One in possession, down by 5. Ordiales with a put down.
Unexpected ad-lib play. Sabi ni Erica, tataas ko, ikaw na bahala. Was a differential set to the middle. Ordiales got that point off a powerful hit.
Welcome to the Cignal HD Spikers. Jessa Ordiales. Ordiales. Oh! With the no look!
He did not expect to score that way, but a point is a point. Lead is now at 7.
Back-to-back points for the rookie. Timeout is called here for Capital One. Take a look at this one more time.
Depensa! Nakikita niyo yung bola, problema, tinitingnan lang natin, hindi tayo gumagalaw. Lapitan natin yung bola. Tuyutin natin. Lapit natin yung score. 11-18. Ito lang yan. Ito lang yan. Angat natin. Angat natin. Go.
Looking for one last push here. But on the other side, Jessa Ordiales seems to be having fun with a 7-point lead. Genesis set back on the reload. Trisha, pancake by Cayuna. The setup for Estrella. The play continues with this Santos hit. Doromal will be setter. Genesis will push. And that is outside.
Lead us back to 8 for the HD Spikers. A while ago, Capital One was able to trim that lead down to 4. They can't seem to find their groove.
Genesis on the approach. Lalong Isip flying in. Estrella will try this time. Iris back to her opposite. Third time's the charm for Rovi Estrella.
Opposite setting has been working for Iris Tolenada. Iris Tolenada was able to get the commitment of Ordiales in the middle. That left Estrella with a single blocker.
That is wide left.
That is painful for Capital One. They really can't afford to commit errors at this point, because Cignal is 5 points away getting their second win. At this point, Coach Chuck is just flexing the depth of his bench, now putting in Ethan Arce, also one of the new faces for the Cignal HD Spikers.
Estrella again, back to back.
Continues to be the star for Capital One.
She is trying to earn her minutes here. Capital One. Arce talked about flexing Neil.
He already mentioned the ability of Jel Cayuna to instantly gel with her attackers.
Pwede lang Neil yung POG natin, yung buong bench ng Cignal. They have really come out here and changed the game. No whistle quite yet. Arce.
No go this time. That was outside from Ethan Arce.
Looks like we'll be having a double substitution. Makatuno and Malabanan.
For every team, meron talagang standard na double subs every time two-hit their rotation yung nasa harapan. For Capital One, it's Jerry Malabanan and May Makatuno.
Malabanan also coming from that hiatus. As Ishi lalong isip is trying to put the cherry on top here. 3 points away for Cignal.
They're now in possession to get their second win. Leading scorers for Cignal HD, Erica Santos with 11 points and Doria Aquino with 10. For Capital One, it's Estrella.
That hit is too low for Tapia. And after this game, it will be the last of 4 with Creamline and Akari. And then it's farewell Vigan and off to a new stop next week. As Pia Abu. If there's one bright thing we can also look for in this game from Capital One, Pia Abu has around 4 to 5 points, Neil.
I do agree. Yung middles talaga, I think yung magiging difference makers for Capital One. Because Pia Abu is also an offensive middle blocker. So basta meron silang magandang pasa, she will always be an option for the Solar Spikers. Kita natin kanina, there were options for her to go for slide attacks. Nandyan pa rin yung mga normal quick attacks, A quick, B quick.
And just like that, we arrive at match point Cignal. But first things first, we have a challenge.
Point will go to Capital One. Cignal HD admits to that lock touch. They have a huge cushion here in set number 3.
So no match point yet for Cignal. Tapia will serve. And now there is a match point for Cignal.
Serving for the match, Vigan.
Malabanan pushes. Genesis behind. Back row lalong isip. Coming in is Doromal. Genesis flying by. Oh, what a pickup by Ishi. Can this be it? Ginoo, not yet. Counter Genesis. That does it for the Cignal HD Spikers.
As Jessa Ordiales getting that final point for Coach Shaq de los Santos. 3 points for the rookie. Everybody chipping in for the second win of Cignal HD.
Getting a lot of love from her teammates. This is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Jessa Ordiales and the bench squad has came to play, and they did not give up a set here in Vigan, Ilocos Sur, with 2 wins to start off PVL on tour. And if you're Capital One, Neil, well, it's back to the drawing board. And they know for sure what they have to improve on in the upcoming games.
There were bright spots pa din naman for Capital One. They played well in set number 1 and 2. It's just that yung capability and ability ng Cignal to come back was on a different level.
There you have it, the receipt. We'll take a short break and we'll wrap things up when we return.
25-21, 25-22, 25-16. Cignal HD Spikers in convincing fashion will win this one versus Capital One. But first things first, Jana Ejido is with someone who has a lot to thank for our Vigan experience. Jana, take it away.
Exactly, Jaime. I'm here with the team captain of the Capital One Solar Spikers, Roma Doromal. Roma, I'm sure na na-enjoy mo yung experience mo dito sa Vigan. Anything you want to say to our crowd here sa Chavit Coliseum and to everyone watching?
Hello po, good afternoon. Thank you po sa support nyo and sobrang na-appreciate po namin yung support nyo sa volleyball and I hope na i-continue nyo po kaming supportahan, lalo na yung Capital One Solar Spikers. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Roma. And now I am with our player of the game, Jel Cayuna of the Cignal HD Spikers. 27 excellent sets with 5 points to match. Jel, congratulations! 2 game days in Vigan and 2 wins. Ano yung naging plano nyo, yung secret to this wonderful start sa conference?
Ayun, sa dugout pa lang parang pinag-uusapan natin na dapat masaya lang kami maglalaro since mayroong mga adjustment kasi may mga bago nga kami. Pero yun nga, naglaro lang talaga kami ng masaya and ayun, nag-contribute naman lahat. Kaya happy ako para sa mga teammates ko. And thank you ako sa mga coaches.
Yun, and you mentioned nga na lahat nakapag-contribute. Tell me, what are your thoughts na lahat ng players ng Cignal, even the bench, was able to play here in Vigan?
Masaya ako kasi, yun nga, si Erica parang first niya to on tour niya and yung mga bago din nakapasok. So, ayun, happy kami, pati coaches din. And looking forward pa sa magiging adjustment namin para sa mga next games and sure ako na may magandang laro pa kami.
And finally, mga pagbati naman to everyone watching here in Vigan and wherever they may be.
Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga-Vigan. Maraming salamat po. Sa lahat ng PVL fans, sa family ko, sa mama at papa ko, kay Jingay, sa partner ko. Hello po. Thank you. At sa family ng teammates ko. Hello po.
Alright, congratulations once again to Jel Cayuna of the Cignal HD Spikers, your player of the game.
Ejido, and congratulations to our best player of the game in Jel Cayuna. How about that, Neil? 27 excellent sets. Let's take a recap of what happened in that game.
A bonus na 5 points pa from Jel Cayuna. Well, the captain of the ship again steered her team in the right direction. Di na tayo magkarinigan kasi kakapasok lang ng streamline sa Chavit Coliseum. But ultimately, Cignal outplayed the Capital One Solar Spikers. They needed some time to adjust in the first 2 sets. But in set number 3, they were dominant. They built an early lead and they never looked back. And Erica Santos didn't even need to score as much because all of her other teammates stepped up and provided crucial points also for Coach Shaq de los Santos. We can't forget about the efforts of Pearl Denura, who was a great compliment to their other libero in Buding Duremdes.
The bench was simply flexed today, Neil, by Coach Shaq de los Santos. But bright spots you saw from Capital One in Estrella Alvarez yesterday, Pia Abu today. And that is what PVL on Tour is all about, trying to figure out how to put the pieces together in that puzzle.
For Capital One, it's about improving every game. Malayo yung nilaro nila today compared to yesterday. So that in itself is a small win already for Capital One. But they still need to work on other things if they want to start racking up wins in this short conference.
Neil, to be absolutely honest with you, I can barely hear you more and more. But first things first, our match statistics.
In all categories, Cignal had the upper hand against Capital One. 44 attacks, 9 blocks, and 5 service aces. When it came down to the unforced errors, hindi naman nagkakalayo, but the scoring categories really helped Cignal win this in 3 straight sets.
There you have it. Cignal HD Spikers now with 2 wins in the PVL on tour, still without breaking a sweat and not losing a set. That does it for the Vigan City experience of Cignal and Capital One. But One last game between the Akari Chargers and the Cream Line Cool Smashers. All that and more right here in the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus for Cignal TV. It's time to say our quick goodbyes for our courtside reporter, Jana Ejido, our director, Roy Bliones, my partner, Neil Flores. My name is Jaime Ascalon. Thank you for watching and enjoying the PVL on Tour. This is the heart of volleyball.